Hey y'all, I'm Laura Richardson with Relevate, and we're bringing you another episode of I'm Moving to North Carolina, Now What? So, a big question that we get asked is, does this house have good bones? And what I mean by that is, can I live with the things that are here and fix the things I don't like? So, if you've ever kind of read a choose your own adventure book, sometimes there's two different paths, right? And you've got to go this route or this route, but you make the choice. It's the same thing when you're reviewing a home. So, the first big thing you want to look at is the layout. So, do I like the current layout? Yes or no? So, look past the crazy colored walls and the shag carpet from 1971. Do you like the way that the home is constructed? If the answer is yes, this is a relatively easy path to take as long as you can change the aesthetics, which we'll get into those things in a second. If the answer is no, one of the big kind of stop gates that you get to is, can I move a wall? It gets a little tough because in some older homes, a lot of things are load bearing that you can't actually shift or move around. And just so you guys know, it's good to have a GC or an engineer friend where you can kind of pitch some of these things too, because it's really outside the scope of what your agent's knowledge and responsibility is. On some cases, we can kind of give you our best guess, but at the end of the day, that's kind of a risk you have to choose to take, that the one wall that's blocking your vision may or may not be able to be moved. Or sometimes you see those like weird standalone columns. Those typically serve some kind of structural purpose. So just keep that in mind. So if it's a structural thing, this may or may not be the house for you. You gotta get past that. Now, if you love the layout, here are all the things that you can change to make this home a little bit more your taste or modern, or you can revert it back if it's a historic home. So one of the first things is the paint. The paint is one of those things that buyers struggle the most to look past, but it is one of the easiest things that you can change. So if you can look past the hot pink colored walls or the crazy wallpaper that they put up or whatever, while yes, it's an expense, and we can talk in another video about how to negotiate those things, that's an easy fix as long as you like the layout. One of the second ones is the flooring. So if it's original hardwoods, you can actually refinish them, restain them into a different color. That actually is a huge value add on appraisal or resale. If you don't like the flooring, potentially you could float some new floors or replace them entirely with something like engineered hardwoods or LVP, or replace the old dingy carpet with new carpet that might kind of withstand the test of time a little bit more. Another one, which is a huge upgrade, it's a little bit more of a difficult one to do, but it is so worth the value, is replacing doors and even windows. Sometimes those literally being kind of like the eyes to the soul of the home, they can completely update a space to a point of where it almost looks like new construction. So I would definitely investigate that. A really cheap and easy fix is just simply changing out the hardware. So if cabinets need to be updated, doorknobs and door handles, those are so simple to do. You could actually even do it yourself or hire a really great handyman. And that kind of gives a facelift to even original cabinetry that might be 50 years old. Another one is either adding or changing a backsplash. Probably about 15 years ago, one of the big things that we saw, and we still see them a little bit, are like the stick-on backsplashes. So those can easily come down. You might have to do a little bit of drywall repair, but putting up some beautiful tile, or if you have a really fun color scheme you want to test, but you don't want to spend the money on paint or on the cabinets themselves, sometimes your backsplash can be a really good wow factor that you can easily change out over time. So that would definitely be a suggestion. And kind of moving into that is like the tile and even like the shower glass layout. That insert can be changed out relatively easily. So if you have a good renovator, they can flip that out and really upgrade some of those bathrooms. Same thing when it comes to like the vanities in a space. If you want to go from a pedestal to something with a little bit more storage, that is a great change out. And that kind of leads me directly into adding storage. So adding cabinets in places where maybe you have wire shelving, open shelving, or none at all, that can really elevate a space and give it a lot more value. And then one of the last ones that again can be very inexpensive or super expensive depending on your taste, but it can really elevate the space, is changing out your light fixtures. So if you have like older pendants or even chandeliers that are really outdated and you need to replace those, finding something that's a little bit modern and fits your new updated color scheme can be a great fix to just taking that great layout, that amazing space you love, and making it your own. So just remember, guys, as long as you love the location and the layout of the house, all these aesthetic things can be done over time at any budget and relatively with ease. And sometimes you can even negotiate some budget back in your pocket to pay for it. I'm Laura Richardson with Relevate. If you have any additional questions, drop them in the comments below, or feel free to shoot us a direct message using the contact info in the description. We'll see you next time.